Greetings, viewers, and welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast, featuring Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Red-Rupee here, and we are back. Yes, we are back to Dawn of War. I wasn't going Wizard casting. Come on, folks. There are so many StarCraft and Warcraft casters out there. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad at this game, or you guys are just way too supportive, but I actually thought you guys would be more upset that I posted some Warcraft 3, but a lot of people were really digging it, so I'm sorry. I'm actually breaking some hearts, I think, telling people that I'm actually not going to be casting that. I do, of course, play Heart of the Swarm. I'm trying to roll through that Platinum League, but I only play that because everyone I know plays, and if I want to play RTS with folks I actually know, not that you fine internet folks aren't fun to play with, but I've got to play some StarCraft. I'll be honest, though, my true twin mistresses are Company of Heroes and Dawn of War. They are the best. They're the tops, and as soon as I get back into these games, I'm always way excited. But what else we have going on? Oh, of course, speaking of Company of Heroes, the Company of Heroes 2 beta started today, so if you pre-ordered or got yourself a beta key, hop into that. I haven't gotten a chance to play yet. I was talking to Kaldoot, Gretel, a couple other people. I was sitting at work just chomping at the bit, and as soon as I get done this cast, you can better believe I'm going to be heading over there and tearing up some code 2. So, what else? Oh, and, of course, we do have the Dawn of War 2 Elite Tournament coming up here shortly. On the 21st, that is a few Sundays from now, we're going to be doing that, and that will also feature a Company of Heroes 2 copy as a prize, along with some other prizes, so hopefully we'll be seeing lots of high tier and maybe lots of mid-tier players coming up here too. I like to see the mid-level guys. Sometimes we see some great upsets, knocking out some of those big dogs early on. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the game started. We are looking at this ominous, foreboding blue fog and all this Tyrannid formation, so that can only mean one thing, that we are on the map Nids Never Sleep. And on the blue team, let's take a look at our players. We have Mr. Winkel as the brother captain over here with that bright blue power sword over there shining in the distance. And then we have the Lord General, Mr. Oh man, let's see. Alright, let's see if I get this. Mr. Shas'el Duranro as the Lord General for the Imperial Guard Army on the blue team. I'm just going to be calling him Shas'el. And then on the red team, we have both the Lock and Boss of War over here. Twin Warlock and War Boss. Kaldoot as our Warlock and Ooh, you almost got me, Jones. You almost got me, a Sly Devil. Mr. MFJones as Kaldoot's partner. So let's get this game on the road. War Boss and Warlock fighting against the Lord General and the brother captain. So once again, we have sort of an alliance of men versus Xenos for this big 2-on-2 map. This map extremely large, and it's not, I don't know, it's not a great map, I guess. It's not a bad map either. I mean, it's just kind of planned. There's not a lot going on. It's just very open, very spread out. That's one of the main things I feel like that a lot of map makers for these custom maps fail to realize that look, if you look down here, look, they use this entire square. This is way too big for a 2-on. This is probably almost a 3-on-3 map, honestly. But the VPs are way in the corners, and as you can see, these two natural VPs very close to the points, and then this contested VP way out in the middle of nowhere. But it just doesn't need to be this big. There's 3 power on this side along with the 2 naturals. Normally the extra power is out by the contested VP, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Not a bad map. We're seeing our first little skirmishing here as the Banshees and Warlock Dire Avengers facing off against the Strike Squad Stormtroopers and the Brother Captain. Brother Captain's moving in. Already activated his buff, so that's going to be on cooldown for the time being. Banshees losing a model before they even get in close. Unfortunately for those Banshees, they just can't quite battle in that first engagement. I feel like as Eldar, you really don't want to engage too quickly. Warlock did a good job of forcing off these Stormtroopers, got a couple quick model kills to make up for those Banshee losses, and then down on the far western side of the map, we've got the War Boss now going up to punch a Sentinel in the face. But of course, he gets his upgrade right away. Shas'el going for the fairly typical double Guardsman and a Sentinel with the Lord General. And Mr. MFJones with the double Shooter Boys. Unfortunately, that stomp was used on the War Boss, did manage to take him out, but those Slugger Boys, with that stomp down, have managed to get in on these Guardsmen. They're still taking quite a bit of damage from the Lord General and the Sentinel. They're going to have to retreat quickly. Oh my goodness, you don't want to lose the War Boss and those Sluggers. Actually, everything ceased fire against those Slugger Boys. Lord General now moving in to engage in melee, which he's actually pretty reasonable at. He does have that nice big old sword there that he swings around with his normal arm, the big robot arm. handling that oversized Space Marine bolter. And Winkel opting out of the second Inquisitorial Stormtrooper squad, getting himself a Purgation squad out here quickly. Kaldoot responding with a setup Guardian weapons team over here, so be dishing out some suppression. But yeah, this map just very large. I feel like if these VPs out here were maybe about where these power are, and maybe the powers were kind of put a little more mid-map to be contested, I think this map would be a lot more interesting. As it is now, it's just a bit too spread out, but I think these players are trying to make up for it. They're staying in each other's faces. Guardian weapons team opens up on the guard captain and his army, suppresses that Inquisitorial squad, and those strike squads now moving in. I really like the strike squad and the brother captain. They're kind of just, the strike squad's just kind of miniature brother captains. They all have those nice wrist-mounted bolters. Those are pretty cool. Right now, Purgation squad moving in on the power. Unfortunately for Kaldoot, he's left the pathway open straight to the back gen farm over there. Sentinel looks like it was in a bit of a perilous situation. Warboss actually upgraded with the enhanced custom shooter. That's interesting. I think that might actually be a reasonable choice against the Lord General. With all that range stuff, they're just going to kite that poor Warboss around. At least he'll be doing some damage while he's running all over the place. And man, look at all the blue that's just on this map right now. We've got blue fog. We've got some blue flame coming in. Oh man, we've got blue shurikens coming in from the Guardian weapon team as the blue flame opens up on the Banshees, doing terrible damage. We've got some blue shurikens also firing in from the Dire Vendors as the burning Banshees retreat, then a blue plasma grenade, and it's just, this is a very blue situation right now. All in all, Kaldoot played that just about perfectly. He missed his grenade, unfortunately, didn't manage to get any model kills, but did scare off that threat and managed to keep 2 generators up, so he got there relatively quickly, considering there was a Purgation squad there, because those things just shred generators like nobody's business. So some pretty well upgraded shooter boy squads over here. Both have their knobs. One with big shooters, one without for the time being. I think the Warboss got himself his big shooter and instead got his custom shooter. So the shooter boys have to wait for their requisition of new armaments. Kaldoot with the support, getting that shuriken cannon up with some nice grenades barraging in from those catechins for Mr. Shas'el. Jones moving in along with the support of Kaldoot. Some nice team play right there. Unloading with that enhanced custom shooter, knocking that Lord General over a little bit for the time being. And this is another one of those maps that is similar to Ashes of Typhon, where there's just no blue cover. Or sorry, no blue. I've got blue on the mind after all that. Whoa, lots of stuff going down to that stomp there. But no green cover at all. Everything's just yellow cover all over the place. So honestly, the Imperial Guard player could take advantage of that. If he can get the moment to do so, he can drop some green cover maybe over by the VP, over in this kind of choke-off point right here. Probably be a good possibility to maybe gain himself a little ground right here. Slugga's looking for some trouble, but they're going to find it in just the wrong way. They're going to try to kite around and maybe get out of there. Trying to kite back to the shooters. They're desperately trying to escape. They hit the retreat button, do manage to get around just far enough to retreat the right direction. And now both of the Reds are heading into Tier 2. Winkel does have himself a Rhino over here to try to support his troops, maybe get them away from the Banshees and Warlock when they get in close. Brother Captain activated. We are the hammer. Everything goes charging in. But it looks like that Shuriken Cannon is going to be able to open up on everything. Brother Captain very low. Has to be careful with those Banshees as the Warlock just charges headlong into the Brother Captain's army. Oh my goodness. Inquisitorial Stormtroopers getting knocked all around like they're just tiny little ragdolls. Looks like the Rhino's going to manage to pick those fellows up and escape away as Shas'el heads into Tier 2 himself. Surprisingly, Winkel, not sure what all... I mean, he spent power on the Rhino, the Purgation Squad, and I guess... Oh, we've got an Incinerator on the Strike Squad. I feel like he hasn't quite spent that much power, but maybe he has. Obviously, if he's not ready to go Tier 2 yet either. Although the only thing that we've had Mr. Shas'el spend power on is that Catechin Devil Squad. So Imperial Guard Bunker getting dropped down right there. I guess that's probably going to become a medic bunker at this point in the game. There aren't any vehicles on the field, so I doubt we're going to be seeing that repair bunker come up. And with both of the Reds in Tier 2, they still don't have much to show for it. Looks like Kaldoot going Tier 2 fast, but then getting himself a bunch of tier 1 upgrades. Howling Banshees did get their Exarch along with the Dire Avenger, so that's going to be good. We've got the Champion's Robe, which of course gives the Warlock his Psychic Shield, along with that Merciless Witchblade. Makes him a real terror to deal with, especially when you're running around in power armor. That Witchblade does crazy power damage. And now the Dire Avenger's getting a little back cap. Kaldoot putting some real pressure on, managing to get all the way to this natural power farm of the Grey Knight army. Got engagements happening on both sides, and oh my goodness, is the power farm in range of the base turrets? That is a bit silly, but oh well. That's how it goes when you use these custom maps. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe the mod team can maybe adjust some of this. Fix it up, because I do like seeing these custom maps. I do like seeing different tile sets. This blue fog, it needs to be dialed back a little bit, but it actually makes it look very dynamic when you see all these las cannons firing, all the long-range weapons being exchanged here. Rhino getting upgraded with that heavy bolter turret in the meantime, waiting for tier 2 to pop so he can do that. And right now, a big infantry fall back right here. Everyone heading back to that bunker. It doesn't look like it's been upgraded. Oh, yes, it has been upgraded, because here's all those green circles. You can see everything getting healed up, everything reinforcing. That's a really great forward position on a map this size. Weird Boy is on the field, though, along with some sluggers that have upgraded with their knobs, so they're going to be a much more dangerous threat to all of these Imperial Guardsmen. You have their burners, too, so the kiting won't be nearly as effective as it was before. But the Lord General is just holding out on this nice hill, this nice Tyranniform hill. Lots of green circles, and the War Boss is responding with some circles of his own. He's got his boss pole, gives some increased health, prevents any real suppression, maybe expecting a heavy weapons team or something along those lines, which I wouldn't be surprised to see with this bunker up here. You can pop a heavy weapons team in there, really be a great deterrent for all these advancing orcs. Everything getting knocked all over the place. Great use of the Lord General's various abilities right here. We can see he's got both the flak jacket and the sniper rifle, giving the, I believe, fire on my target? Yes, fire on my target, and what is the other one? Incoming ability, so he can both shoot further and take reduced range damage. So pretty nice combination right there, really turning those infantry into a real powerhouse. So going a pretty much full infantry-based build. Shas'el hasn't gotten himself anything for tier 2 right yet. Major losses on those Banshees. Will the Brother Captain be able to take it out? Oh my goodness, the Exarch teleports in just in the nick of time. Narrowly avoiding death. The last Banshee was still standing, but I think that Exarch may have eaten a few hits, and that could have easily gone the other way had that Exarch not popped in at that moment. Kaldoot's still sitting with 3 squads. What's he planning on getting? Is he just going to go straight to tier 3? I mean, the VPs are in the blue team's favor. The Reds are down by about 100 VPs, but neither side's down very far. Of course, it's going to be difficult to get a really solid VP grasp with the natural VPs being so close to each respective side's bases. Lord General getting pushed back by the intimidation of this orc truck. He's just going to open fire on it looks like. Catchins now have their Melta and Plasma might actually be able to take them out. Big stomp coming in from that Sentinel. Dodged the shot for most of his infantry. Sentinel took that full brunt of the Weird Boy shot, though. Does go down. Little friendly fire from the Weird Boy on his fellow orcs. Slugger Boys have to fall back. Another buff going down from the Lord General. Catechins falling back, finally deciding they have to get out of there because their leader was behind and causing other members to fall. Plasma guns opening up on that war truck. It looks like that's the only counter that Mr. Shas'el has to Jones over here. Weird Boy doing all kinds of damage. He needs to get a good warp vomit in here, though, and force him off the map. Zap goes down, but man, both sides just able to reinforce constantly. And you can see Shas'el not even hesitating to hold his ground. He's just refusing to yield here, pushing in crazy hard, and actually forced off that war truck with only 2 squads of plasma guardsmen because there was just nothing that the orc could do. Both sides were just bleeding right there. And luckily, I mean, I think if the Weird Boy had gone in and tried to put some pressure on that bunker, that maybe he would have pushed back Mr. Shas'el. But anyways, Kaldoot once again pushing pressure. I do believe Winkel said he did have a bug squad, so the Banshees are moving in on this Purgation squad. Winkel says, go ahead, just kill him, whatever. Banshees and Warlock going to make short work of them, get themselves some nice little... Oh my goodness, Banshee's actually taken some fire. That Squad was bugged. Oh, and a strike coming down. A flame strike taking out the squad. That wasn't nice at all. Winkel says, yeah, you could go ahead and take them. But I hope you don't mind if I drop this giant firebomb on your head. That's no big deal, right? You don't mind that? But I guess that evened the score a little bit. He did have the bug squad, so it was kind of a dirty trick, but I'll stand by it. I'll abide by that play. That was kind of fun. I think the way those purgation squads were bugged, too, they were continuing to fire those standing still, so it was like they were either keeping a squad or inside of a transport, something along those lines. Warlock getting a nice special attack off there. Didn't get any model kills, but might force these guys to at least come out injured or stay back in their base. Got another engagement. Two really one-on-one battles happening over here. War Truck still taking lots of fire. Katachin's going to be able to move in with that melt if he's not careful and finish that thing off. It's trying to back up, but this War Truck might fall to plasma fire. Oh my goodness. Slugger Boys trying their damnedest to stay in the fight, but without that truck there, they can't reinforce as much as they'd like to. Truck getting very low. It needs to fall back. Another couple plasma shots, and it goes down. Oh, big loss there. And that's really allowed Shaz to hold the line with just these Tier 1 units. Jones had a Weird Boy and a truck and couldn't break this Lord General position with the War Boss. I'm surprised the War Boss doesn't have his angry bits. If he was able to charge into that infantry blob, he'd probably be able to hurt him pretty badly, along with the disruption that the Weird Boy offers. The Weird Boy does have, I think, all of his upgrades right now. So he's got over there, he's got the Foot of Bork. Maybe we'll see something cool like that coming on the field. Oh, speaking of, there it is, but easily dodged. You really want to drop that if you can suppress a squad, trap a squad under it, knock it back, whatever options you have. Warboss starting to take some chunks off the damage with that claw. Did the Warboss just get knocked back by the Lord General? No, I think that was the Katachin Devil's explosive shot. I don't think there's any way that the Lord General can knock back the Warboss. But we can see Kaldoot just kind of locking things down here in the center, upgraded to his right lance, and that obviously at some point took out Winkel's Razorback. That was while we were watching the other side of the map. Brother Captain teleporting in with that Nemesis Demon Hammer, which is terrible against all these infantry. Look at that thing just taking huge chunks off of that Bright Lance cannon. Tons of range fire here. Is that 2 purgation squads right there? I believe it is. So the strike squad went down, of course, to those Banshees. Took them out, and then another purgation squad joined the fight. So Brother Captain going for a heavy range build right now. Meanwhile, over here on this side, blue team's managed to take out the natural gen farm over here. So nice power bash right on this side. Warlock doing crazy damage with that Merciless Witchblade to all kinds of stuff. Oh man, and the Guardians actually in melee managed to take out that Inquisitorial Stormtrooper squad. I mean, if I were to look at the game right now, I mean, everyone's Tier 3. Jones has a looted tank coming out on the field. Winkel's sitting with 2 squads. Shas'el with 3. Shas'el looks like he's going straight from Tier 1 to a Baneblade. That's one of the hardest techs you can even do in this game. Oh, and speaking of hard tech, there goes that beautiful plane. And dropping a big ol' Land Raider Crusader on the field. So, with that Baneblade coming here shortly from Shas'el, we're going to have just 2 mega tanks on the field, and that's going to be a rude awakening for both Jones and Kaldoot. That looted tank isn't going to be able to stand up to the Baneblade. There is an Avatar on the field for Kaldoot, so just some big, a long kind of drawn-out Tier 1 fight for both sides, and then heading straight into Tier 3 for all the big, heavy tech. On this side of the map, it looks like the Orcs are finally moving in on this bunker, and for once, Shas'el might not be able to hold his position. But considering he's held long enough to get himself a Baneblade on the field and not take any major losses, that's probably, I'd call that a win in my book, because as soon as that Baneblade hits, he's going to really be able to tear into this Orc army, I feel like. So hopefully that works out for him. Orcs just capped the bunker real quick. I'm not sure, I mean, I feel like he should still destroy that, but for the time being, it will at least not be able to reinforce and heal and all that fun stuff. Kaldoot locking down the center in typical Eldar style, has a pair of super long-range setup teams. D-cannons are so good on these open maps. I mean, look, we just saw it can hit anything on this entire screen without even trying. So we've got the Land Raider over here. D-cannons getting set up along with the Bright Lance to help take out that mega tank. Avatar moving in along with the Warlock here as we can see Winkel just kind of unwittingly standing in the middle of all this D-cannon fire. Got a singularity going off right there. I don't think Winkel saw it. He's just standing there. He's not even moving. Oh, and a big hit turns a bunch of poor guardsmen into bits, and then a big swing from that Avatar, and a beautiful D-cannon shot turning a few more Purgation Squad members into bits as well. Oh my goodness. 400 to 204. The red team has the VP advantage, but they are down by about 200 VPs, with the blue team's 2 tanks now on the field, causing some serious trouble. They might be in a bit of a predicament if they don't hold these VPs much longer. I think they're really going to have to focus their efforts in taking out one of these super units at a time, because with the Grey Knights, they're just going to be almost impossible to take off of the field for the time being. You can see even with those beautiful D-cannon shots, Singularity, Avatar, that all that Winkel did was fall back a little bit and then put on some more pressure. Big Wailing Doom coming down, but it looks like he narrowly escapes that. But this Baneblade sitting in the middle of a bit of everything right now. D-cannon, Bright Lance. We got Weird Boy. We got Ludatank. We got Avatar. Everything coming to a head on this Baneblade. It's desperately trying to back up. Tank drivers say full reverse. Get us the hell out of here. Wrath of Cain getting activated. I don't even think that actually does a lot of damage to vehicles. I think we probably should just let that Avatar do its thing. But a nice flank coming in. Grey Knights coming in from behind, forcing off the Eldar setup squads as the Baneblade falls back at about half HP to the natural power farm over on this side of the map. Ludatank realizing it's time to get the heck out of there. Avatar taking tons of damage from both of these Purgation squads. I think they're both now upgraded with Psy Cannons. Or actually, one of them is down. There's only one Purgation squad. It's not both. It's the Purgations and the Stormtroopers inside of that game. Inside of the Land Raider. There's too many big, nasty tanks on the field. Baneblade, Land Raider, all such intimidating names. And then we've got the Warlock, all Jedi'd up with his Heart of Darkness, Champion's Robe, and Merciless Witchblade. But the Reds are now down by only about 100 VPs. They're slowly falling back, but there is a Fire Prism on the field. Man, and Kaldoot just going straight tier 3 for everything. All he needs now is a Seer Council, and he will have run the entire gambit. Got the Fire Prism, got the Avatar, got the D-Cannon. Really been seeing D-Cannon shine in these past few games. D-Cannons are so awesomely effective when they can land the necessary shots, because they're just brutal. They miss a lot less than Plasma Devastators too, which is really great. And man, just trying to keep the pressure on that Land Raider. Another bunker dropping in. I'd be willing to bet dollars to donuts that that's going to be a repair bunker to help out this Baneblade, really help hold the line. But we've got everything coming in here. We got knobs now upgraded with their hammers upgraded with green and greener, and I believe their knob as well, so just fully kitted out, ready to go. All he needs to do is get those knobs on this tank, and the Weird Boy is definitely the weapon to do that. Oh man, big over there. Beautiful play. Getting both the Warboss and the knobs in on this Baneblade. Looks like the Slugger Boys are gonna go down, but the Warboss is the one that needs to be focused. Unfortunately, he didn't retreat the Weird Boy after using over there, which he really should have. The tank needs to focus. Ludatank needs to be careful. It doesn't want to go down. This Baneblade's going to get annihilated by all of these orcs, just beating it into a pulp of rusty metal. Oh my goodness. And you can bet that Shas'el is just looking at that poor tank carcass with chagrin. And it's not even. It's not even. There is no tank carcass. The orcs just completely obliterated it into nothing. Knobs actually retreat with all of their members at almost 500 HP. All of their members still up. Warboss still chopping away at everything. Catachin's about to lose themselves some models as well. Everything hops into the bunker right there to deactivate that repair. Ooh, nice shot from those Catachins though. Almost cost them their lives as the Warboss is sitting there blasting away at everything still with that big mean power claw. Shooter Boys are going to have to get out of there as everything's still just blasting away and reinforcing. Kasserkin's on the field though, and actually I think they're upgraded with Meltas, which I don't see very often. Their Meltas, along with that elite weapon expertise, actually has a small snare on vehicles. Managed to take out that looted tank, and that probably surprised him because you almost never never see the meltas on those Kazakhans. Almost always see the plasma. But oh wow, that Land Raider along with these Grey Knight Terminators managed to take out the Warlock, finally falling for Kaldoot as the blue team moves in for the kill. Man, 147 to 302. Red team's not looking too good suddenly, with Mr. Jones down to just 3 squads. If he hadn't lost that Weird Boy in that engagement, I think that would have been a good engagement for him. But losing that Weird Boy with all of those upgrades is a huge hit to his army. He's really going to have to depend on Kaldoot, I think, at this point to help him hold. Although, Shas'el really doesn't have too much of his own. He lost one of his guardsman squads. He's got the Catachans and the Kazakhans. But for Knobs, that might not quite be enough. He really doesn't have too much in the ways of melee deterrent. He does have the Catachan Devils, of course. But that's going to be just about it for right now. Warboss now upgraded with his heavy armor, which, I mean, that's why he was able to stay in that last fight for so very long. Rocks coming down. Big rocks. The retreat button's hit, but it's just going to put everything right in the middle. That first rock annihilates a huge hit on that Kasserkin squad. One lone Catachan luckily manages to escape. 4 guardsmen, and the Lord General just got knocked headlong into a pile of orc knobs. That did not work out well for him at all, and unfortunately for Mr. Winkel, his brother captain went down to, well, I mean, all of the Eldar army, it looks like, was over there taking back. And Shas'el pointing out to his ally that he did in fact get rocked, while the Grey Knight are just kind of chilling out, waiting to choose their next engagement carefully. Winkel has a lot of resource. He'll probably be able to get him, I guess, I mean, at this point, he's probably going for Paladins. He's got Terminators. Why not get the other big guns out here, get those Paladins on the field? 2 squads of Terminators is going to be a real nightmare for the red team to deal with. Despite those big losses, it looks like the blue team's still holding for the time being. They've got plenty of time to bring this back, but Shas'el really needs to be careful at this stage in the game. Doesn't want to feed those nods anymore. They're already level 3. Avatar coming in. Oh, a nice combo right here. Wailing Doom going off along with the Eldritch Storm. Managed to take out... Was that a squad that went down? I think... No, it looks like that Inquisitorial Stormtrooper squad just barely got out of there. But it cost at least one of those Purgation squads his life. Looks like he got blasted right in the middle of all that. Unfortunately, those Terminators gonna be doing some serious damage to that Avatar, which now... Does that Avatar have used your choppers on it? Oh my goodness. That thing is desperately trying to take out that Land Raider. It's a 3-0 cap against the Blues, 72 to 257. If they can take out this Land Raider, here comes Jones with the beautiful flank right here. Bunker coming in, but I don't think it's going to get upgraded in time. Rocket Run doing some heavy damage to those orcs. It looks like they're going to get out of there without losing any squads, and the Land Raider goes down to the knobs. Warboss still on the field with plenty of HP, and the Reds are just holding the points. The blue team is pretty much focused everything over on this side of the map. If they're going to do that, they're going to need to take both of the points, and I'm not sure that's something they can do right now. Paladins now moving in on these knobs. These knobs going to have to be very careful. That injured squad of Terminators is falling back to allow the second squads to now move in. But now the knobs are suppressed. I'm not sure if they have their meat and green, or apparently not, because they are falling back. One knob goes down, but it looks like for the cost of one knob, he at least got a Terminator and a Land Raider. So I'd say that's a pretty solid win for the red team. 2 infantry squads for Mr. Shas'el heading over to this side of the map, but is being guarded by a D-cannon. Shas'el calling to get the natural back, but the blue team, or sorry, the red team rather, has a couple warp gates up. Very necessary on a map like this. D-cannon was spotted right away and did get forced off. Got a nice shot in on those guardsmen, but the Catachans need to cap. There they go. They're capping right now. Red team, if they have to fall back anymore, they may actually still lose this. This is a very large map, so it's hard to really hold too much on their own. So they're going to have to be very careful, but it's a 2-0 cap with 123 EPs left. Paladin's now moving in on the Warlock, who's just trying to hold his ground against a bit of everything. I think he may have retreated a bit too late. Or actually, no, it looks like he's actually going to get out of there. I thought the Paladins might have gotten a couple more swings in. Blue tank now back out here once again, dealing with these Catachans. Catachans need to retreat as soon as they grab that point. Natural finally getting kept. And on the far side, we've got the Lord General trying to do his best to get a decap in as well and stop that BP bleed. Fire Prison gets a shot in, but he gets the decap and now hits the retreat button. These Dire Avengers do have a grenade though, and oh, it goes down right at his feet and gets obliterated. Fire Prism knocks the Guardians into it as well, but hey, they can take the hit. I think they're level 4 now anyways. Let's check. Yeah, level 4. No problem. Take a little friendly fire grenade damage. No big deal. Shas'el bringing the second Acadian Kasserkin squad onto the field as these guardsmen find themselves very much out of position. Red team losing ground quickly. There's not too much left. Knobs pop out of that warp gate. And wow, that may be the winning warp gate right there. Red team gets the cap on this side. And as they get the decap with those knobs, I don't think there's any chance for the Blues to really get back into this. The Blues are just kind of spread all over the map. Fire Prism does go down to the Purgation Squad and the Paladins. But it's a 2-0 cap with 70 VPs. That's never good. The triple cap is coming shortly. And the Grey Knights did a good job there pushing, taking out that Fire Prism. But I don't think they expected, and that's the game. They throw in the towel. And a triple cap for the red team. And tell you what, man. Warp gates, especially on these big maps, you've got spaces way back here all over the place that you can drop warp gates. I mean, obviously Kaldoot used his red for some other things that game. But, man, warp gates is the way to go. And don't worry as far as that April Fool's stuff goes. I was just messing with you guys. This isn't Blizzard territory. This is Relic times over here. Company Heroes and Dawn of War all the way. If you're looking for StarCraft, looking for Warcraft 3, go find that elsewhere. I'll do a little Warcraft 3 maybe, but StarCraft 2, go find Day 9, go find Husky, go find those guys. Of course, if you guys are looking to participate in some of these silly shenanigans, over on the Facebook, over on the Steam group, join those up. It's a great way for me to reach out to you guys, talk back and forth with the community a little bit. Lots of fun. But man, lots of Grey Knight Terminators. All of this, and the red team still took it. Feel free to comment, subscribe, like the video. I always appreciate it, and I will be catching you guys next time.